Hello everybody, welcome to another special edition of TopoRanger. Today we're back at the Clark Nature Preserve and we're back on the hunt for Colonel John Mead's shelter cave. Now we got some inside information from the Susquehanna Ramblers, who, as I mentioned in my first video about this search, have done research, have been here searching for this cave several times already. And they gave us some ideas about where to look. So hopefully we're gonna find it today. I am on the trail right now, heading down to House Rock. I'm meeting Cole and Ryan down here. Cole Swanger at Instagram is his feed, and Ryan is Hiker Dude Dad. That's his channel on YouTube. Lewis was supposed to be here, but he's not feeling too well. So he's not here today, but his channel is simply Explo Venturing. I'll leave a link to all those, all that stuff in the description below. We're gonna head down to the area of interest on our map. And we're gonna check this one specific area first because that might be where it is. All right, topography is getting steep here. We're checking the maps, but I think it seems like we're on the right path. Right here is the road right here. That's a man-made wall right there. So whatever was here, this was shoring it up, and it's not a walking path though. It's definitely larger. So somebody spent the time to build little walls here next to the trail at some point. So it must have been a fairly important route. So he had a collection. They would come to his cave.
Yeah, and take pictures, and you know, he either bragged about like having stood there and posed pictures with them. You know, he went to New Jersey every single spring, so he must have been very sociable.
Now, how did those people get there? If it was low down, did they come on boats? Because I can't see those women. You know, they have these big, look at the picture.
This trail was nice and flat and clear.
And it was clear.
They could have came here from one of the farmhouses up top.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
They were at the farms, they came down here. That would be doable. I mean, that's big enough in terms of height, but I don't think that's it.
Nothing that looks like the overhang collapsed.
There's the vultures are coming. Okay, we're about 100 feet away from that next outcrop. And right now, oh, it's up there too.
Yeah.
It's looking pretty good. I think this may be it. I think the ultimate ID is going to be the keystone. If we can find the keystone, then that will be absolute confirmation. Look, it's still there.
Wait a minute, is that wood?
Yeah. Okay, I was going to say this. The Ramblers pretty much set this whole thing up in terms of pointing the direction, so all credit for finding it goes to those guys.
And so Lewis, who couldn't join us here today.
And Lewis, who he was feeding us the information. So thanks guys, and we'll be able. Well, here it is.
Look, well, somebody was using this as a shelter cave
recently.
Look, you can see the iron.
Oh yeah. Now I wonder if they recreated his setup.
I bet you they did.
This has foam on it, so I don't think
he could have dug right here, Brett. Right? They were sitting here on the wall. He could have dug here and had his.
He's sleeping on here, and this is where he would have sheltered here.
Yep.
And here too. Yeah. That could be an original wall. That could be his original wall.
Yeah.
That looks old.
That's old.
Where was that?
Laying right under here.
Oh, look at this. There's an iron spike.
Yeah.
So maybe he
had it stuff resting on, or like a hook to hang something on.
You know, hang the kettle on there, have a fire
over the yeah. What we need is somebody who collects this kind of stuff to say what kind of year range we're looking at. If this could be something that was his, or if it's post. He died in what, 1915?
Yeah.
The keystone should be right here somewhere, right? But
so what was he calling the keystone in
this?
I know I saw it when like
I have one where it's highlighted. I mean, the rock looks exactly the same.
Looks like he probably had dirt
piled up, and he stored his stuff in there.
And
probably
then
slept
right
in
there. Yeah,
and she was sitting right here.
Yep.
Props to the Colonel for picking a good cave.
You can see a wall right behind him.
So he probably built that wall just as part of his...
Yeah, to keep...
And maybe he had boards over there too. This whole thing under here might have been one big cabin-like thing. Huh.
I think this would have to be some kind of original wood, because who the hell is going to bring this in here?
A plank.
A plank? I mean,
He might have gotten that from the river. This one here looks, to me, looks like it could be, was it 100? What would it be, 105 years? 106 years? Yeah, 106 years since the Colonel passed away. So this stuff has been here for that long. It's also been protected here somewhat, so things might have lasted longer than they would normally if they were just sitting out in the woods. Certainly metal pieces like this with the fork. It's got a little design on it. You see that? Did they have forks like this in 1910? Or was that too early for this stuff? Anybody out there who's an expert in like forks and historical stuff dealing with silverware, is this something that would be around in 1910, 1915, 1905-ish? So we think that this wall here was built by him as well. And right here, he had his boards over here. And probably in the summer, he slept up top. And then in the winter, he probably slept down here, which means his fire pit. Are we thinking the fire pit was here? And there's this iron spike here, which we're thinking maybe he hung his kettle off this spike right here, which means the fire might have been, I don't see any soot though on this rock.
Something like this, I'm feeling like this is like 50s or 60s, you know?
Yeah.
Unless he didn't have any fires underneath there with him.
And maybe the fire was out there.
How close he would have been to it laying down in here.
Yeah,
I just think the spike is like hang a pot or something.
Yeah.
something over there. There's a little lookout right here. You can climb from here. Let me get my helmet. That piece of metal.
That's like a piece of, like a bread. I don't know.
Is that some kind of tile? It looks like almost like the red stuff. That almost looks like a brick, but or some type of brick. I don't want to disturb too much. I don't see anything up here. Mud wasps. No soot or anything. Those guys are right down there. That's the cave right there. Once you get to this spot, the overhang kind of disappears. And up here, there's this cool pocket right there. Yeah, it's about 30-foot cliff. Yeah, go ahead and grab that. Yeah, it's an old can. Why would they cover that up? Now that's not 100 years old. That would have been. So that's going to be like 40s, 50s ish. Again, anybody out there expert in canning and the timelines, the history, artifacts, stuff like that?
Heavy, because I think the first ones are probably like super heavy.
No, real light.
Yeah.
I would imagine like teenage kids back in the 1920s might have come down here and be like, hey, let's go check out where, the old man Mead used to hang out.
Tails would still be
Oh, yeah.
That ledge behind that.
Nothing else up there?
I didn't see anything.
Just a bag full of diamonds.
Just a copperhead.
We're recreating the picture. We're trying to. So they were sitting here, and you couldn't really see that much. It was kind of covered over, but
from here up is where that
where the
roof platform thing is.
And this is enough room that he could have lived here in the winter. I mean, if he had this all built up here, there could have been logs here, and that have since rotted away. This whole thing here could have been like a little cabin, a little low-slung cabin.
Send this rock out that way with those.
He could have had a fire maybe right here, and he could have. I think he easily could have, as long as he had food. He would, I mean, he was a hermit, right? Those guys are tough.
Yeah.
And I'm sure plenty of those guys had PTSD. And back then, there wasn't like you had no psychologist. Once the war was over, it's not like they would, they could go see a counselor as part of their health insurance. you had to deal with that PTSD just however you could for the rest of your life.
You went out to the woods and found yourself.
And that's what he, yeah, and I think that's probably what he did. I don't think he ever said he was in the Civil War, but somebody maybe figured that out. Okay, we made our way to the top of the cliff. You can hear Ryan, he's down there. Cole's got his drone out, and we're gonna see if we can get a shot of the cave from, I guess you'd send it out right there. This is ramp, go down, try not to hit a tree. And we should be able to see Ryan. We're probably 30, 40 feet off of the surface there where we found the pot, the metal pot.
All right.
I'm just gonna hold it.
Yep. So you're gonna press and hold that down.
Just tell me when.
Go ahead.
You can see him already.
Yeah, see him right below it.
Oh,
Stay there, Ryan. Ryan, where you were. Yeah, go back to where you were, because I can see you. Yeah. Walk front, like walk forward like 2 steps.
it's right down there. Okay, so there's Ryan right there for scale. I can't see it, but I can hear it. I'll zoom in on the edit. Here we are 106 years after the Colonel lived here with a drone and with our GoPros. I mean, you think about how far technology has come since the Colonel lived at this cave. It's kind of mind-boggling, really.